Today, we're going to have fun in this tutorial. I'm excited for today's tutorial because we're going to start crocheting the muzzle and we're going to work in the nose and the chin. So make sure you have those pieces already crocheted and on hand. I've listed the tools and materials in the description for you, but here's a look at all the stitches and techniques that we'll be using to get started on crocheting the muzzle. But before we get into that, I just kind of want to let you know a little bit about how it's constructed. We're going to start with a chain and work around the foundation. And after a couple of rounds, we'll crochet the nose in, work a few more rounds, and then get to the chin. So now that that's out of the way, let's get crocheting.
Using the yarn you've chosen for the muzzle, make a slip knot and 6 chains. We'll begin working around this foundation chain to start the first round, so insert your hook into the second chain from your hook, but going through the top loop only. Now put 1 single crochet working into that top loop only into the next 3 stitches. You should have 1 unworked chain left, so put 3 single crochets in there. I put the first single crochet into the top loop, then the next 2 single crochets into the unworked loop. As you work into this stitch, the foundation chain might start turning a bit, but just go with it. After completing that last single crochet, turn your work just clockwise and put 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. At this point, you should be back where you started, where you put that first single crochet into the foundation chain. You want to put 2 single crochets into that last stitch. There should be a total of 12 stitches to complete this round, and I think you should take the time to count them out before moving to the next round. I'm putting a stitch marker into that last crocheted stitch to help me keep track of where the end of the round is. We are starting this next round by working 2 single crochets into that first stitch. Then we will put 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Now make 2 single crochets into that next stitch and 3 single crochets into the following stitch. This should put you around the halfway point. We want to kind of repeat and mirror the same thing that we just crocheted. So let's make 2 single crochets into this next stitch and then 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches. You'll increase again by making 2 single crochets into the next stitch and end the round by putting 3 single crochets into that last stitch. Alright, that's the end of round 2. Now we can start round 3 by making 1 single crochet into the next 9 stitches. As you crochet, try pushing the stitches together in that oval shape we're going for, and don't worry if you need to go back and count these 9 stitches. Then increase into the next stitch with 2 single crochets. We need to repeat the sequence of 9 single crochets and that increase once more. This should leave you at the end of the round with a total of 22 stitches. So round 3 is complete. Now comes the fun part. Grab the nose piece and locate that 4th stitch of the last round. I'm going to put a stitch marker in there. You'll see why in just a sec. Let's begin round 4 by crocheting 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Now insert your hook into the front loop only of the stitch you just worked into. Then yarn over and pull through that loop. Grab the nose piece and insert your hook into that 4th stitch where we put the stitch marker. Oh, and don't mess up like me and get all tangled. You want your hook to insert the nose from the wrong side or from the inside of the nose and come out the right side. Then insert your hook into the next stitch on the muzzle and single crochet through both pieces. It might help to line up the stitches on the nose with the stitches on the muzzle before making this first single crochet. Repeat this type of single crochet going through the nose and the muzzle 4 more times. It's very easy to go into the wrong stitch here, so just take your time. I like to flip the nose piece and really make sure I'm going through the right stitches on the muzzle. We are done crocheting into the nose for now, so put 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches on the muzzle only. I like to move the tail from the nose between my working loop and the working yarn before making this next stitch. Now we need to increase by working 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Then make 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches. You should be able to just single crochet until you reach your stitch marker, and end the round by putting 2 single crochets into that last stitch. You should have a total of 24 stitches now. At this point, you should have part of the nose crocheted into the muzzle, and in this next round, we're going to make sure that that nose becomes one with the muzzle. You still with me? We made it to round 5, and it starts just like round 4. Make 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches. Now here's a little trick to reduce any gaps when crocheting pieces together. We need to increase and put 2 single crochets into each of the unworked stitches on the nose. But before we insert our hook into the first nose stitch, insert your hook into the front loop of the stitch you just worked into the muzzle. Yarn over and pull through the stitch. Now insert your hook into that first unworked stitch of the nose and make 2 single crochets. Continue working into the next 3 stitches of the nose by putting 2 single crochets into each stitch. That nose tail needed to be pulled tight before I could complete that last increase on the nose, because I like to secure the tail into my work. You can see the nose is completely attached to the muzzle, and we didn't have to sew any of these pieces together. Let's continue crocheting into the muzzle only by putting 1 single crochet into the next 9 stitches. And feel free to crochet that tail from the nose into the next few single crochets. Now we are going to increase twice by putting 2 single crochets into this next stitch. Then end the round by making 1 single crochet into the remaining 7 stitches. You can count your remaining stitches after the increase just to make sure you're in the right place. That's the end of round 5, and you should have 30 stitches now. I know it might look a little odd shaped, and you might be wondering if you made a mistake somewhere. You can see how these last 2 rounds brought the nose and the muzzle together while also giving the muzzle a little bit more shape. In the next round, we're going to continue crocheting around the outer path. We are starting round 6, and this should be easy. Just make 1 single crochet into every stitch. We aren't going to increase or decrease in this round. Be careful not to miss any of the stitches where we did all those increases. When you have that many stitches together, sometimes they can kind of get covered up as you work. In this next round, we're going to work in the chin just like we did the nose. So locate that 4th stitch of the last round on the chin and put a stitch marker in there. You can set that aside because to start round 7, we first need to put a single crochet into the next 19 stitches. This should take you almost all the way around the muzzle. Now get that chin piece and insert your hook into the stitch you marked, making sure your hook is going into the wrong side or the inside and coming out of the right side. Now insert your hook into the next stitch on the muzzle and single crochet. Repeat this type of single crochet going through the chin and the muzzle 3 more times. Continue working into the muzzle only and end this round by putting 1 single crochet into the 7 remaining stitches. Since we didn't increase or decrease, you should still have a total of 30 stitches. Doesn't this make you feel like progress has been made? This little animal is starting to come together. We're almost done for today. Round 8 will seem like a repeat of round 7 because we need 1 single crochet in the next 19 stitches. I'm also going to insert my hook into this next stitch on the muzzle before making the single crochet into the first unworked stitch on the chin. This just adds more yarn into a space that could leave a gap. Let's make 1 more single crochet into the next stitch on the chin, but don't finish off that single crochet because we need to change colors there. You'll make a single crochet into the next 2 stitches on the chin with this new color. I like to crochet around the tail of our new color yarn and the yarn tail from the muzzle. Do your best to hold everything tight because things can get loose here. Now we can cut the yarn we were using for the muzzle. Here's when I like to add more yarn into the next stitch to reduce the chance of a gap. Insert your hook into the front loop of the stitch you just worked into. Yarn over and pull through that loop. Now single crochet into the next stitch on the muzzle and the remaining 6 stitches. If you have trouble finding the stitch you need to work into, just count back from your stitch marker. Trying to crochet around these tails can be a little annoying, but I think it's more secure this way. When you're done with this round, you should still have 30 stitches. You can see the nose and the chin are now part of the muzzle. As we continue to crochet the head, we'll crochet around the chin so it becomes part of the head seamlessly. Oh, don't forget to add just a little bit of stuffing into the nose. We don't need to put any into the chin though. I hope you were able to follow along and understand the pattern. That's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more. Thanks for watching.